Yo, welcome back to Keita Auto. So here we go with another reaction video. We got our boy Lewis. I'm sorry, not our boy. We got our man. You understand me? Our knighted Sir Lewis Hamilton post-race interview at the French GP that just happened this weekend. I didn't get to watch it, but I did see a good amount of highlights from it, and I would say I'm really happy for him. I'm happy for Mercedes. Seems like they're really picking up the pace and they're picking up the pieces of where they need to. So, see what he got to say in this interview.
How did you wear in the cool down room? No drinks bottle. Finished second today. It was a fantastic performance from you and the whole team.
I feel fantastic.
Already, I'm thinking. You said no drink bottle. He's dehydrated. Dehydrated. I'm already thinking, Kimi Räikkönen. The drink bottle doesn't work, right?
It's a little bit dehydrated. Yeah, the drink bottle didn't work in the race, so I don't actually ever really drink in the race ever, so this is the first time I'd actually.
See, I always think about that, like in regards to not drinking during a race. For me, for instance, when I was doing karting, I had one of those little camo packs to where you can drink water, but I never got it to work properly. But I knew for me, maybe it would help, in regards to like endurance wise, because it gets really hot here in Texas, like 100 degrees. But our races are a lot shorter. But the races here in Mercedes, they're a lot, I mean, with Formula One, they're a lot longer. So you always try to take into mind, like, are they drinking water? Because they have to make weight at the end, too. So, like, any water that you drink, is it gonna go to the end effect of you maybe like overweighing or not weighing enough? And then also, you don't want to have to pee while you're driving because you're just gonna have to pee on yourself pretty much.
Friday all year, and yeah, there was nothing coming out. So, but what a day, what a weekend, especially with missing P1. Just so proud of the team. This is an incredible result. You know, winning races and getting results like this is about the whole package. And of course, we know we don't have quite the pace of the two teams ahead, but reliability is a huge, fundamental part of the process. And
You see, that's another thing right there. He just made a very good point. Reliability is a key. It's a key. That it seems like Ferrari and doesn't have. Red Bull has suffered from the reliability issues, but it seems like Ferrari for sure doesn't have it. Did you hear that scream that Charles Leclerc just let off today? It was horrible. It was terrifying. It's like somebody stabbed him when he was driving. But yeah, it seems like Mercedes has the reliability situation down pat. They just got to make the power match up to the reliability. Once that happens, we'll be back into fighting form. Me personally, right? I don't see Mercedes winning this year. I don't see Lewis Hamilton getting his eighth championship. In fact, I feel like he should have got it last year, but he got cheated. And it's the truth of the matter, he got cheated. And before you guys want to in the comments say, how did he get cheated? He should have pitted. There was no need for him to pit because it was already strategized out that he didn't have to pit. That wreck, we didn't see that wreck happening. Not to mention the number 2 point. You can't let all those cars unlap themselves and then let a few don't unlap themselves or however it went, but it just wasn't right. They made the decision to increase the revenue of Formula One, and it was a poor decision, and I will stand on that to the day I die. He got cheated out of his eighth world championship, and you know it, and I know it, and the whole world knows it. That's why Massey is not here anymore. Anyways, they got the reliability situation down. We just got to wait for the reliability to meet the power situation.
I'm so proud of my team for having the reliability that we do have. And what a great result. George did a great job today as well. So to get a second and a third is really special for us.
Were you surprised at how you were able to defend from the Red Bulls and how it worked from Sergio anyway? Were you surprised that you had that pace today? I know you both intimated to me yesterday that Saturday's not quite as good for you at the moment, and it is there on the Sunday. If you can get the qualifying pace there on the Saturday, this is a good sign, isn't it?
if we could, yeah, we can improve on it. I mean, we were 9 tenths off in quality, um, but for some reason our race pace is a little bit better. Iconic. So why?
You know, you hear that a lot. Usually, people's race pace is a lot quicker than qualifying. I really don't have the answer for that. I would know in karting, some of the answer is there's a lot more rubber on the track, so maybe depending on your setup, it might kick in better for others in comparison. But I'm really not too sure why that is. You hear a lot of racers say that our race pace is a lot quicker than our qualifying pace, or vice versa. But you know, I'd rather my race pace be quicker than my qualifying pace any day. Um, Also, another thing, it seems like the people that ask these questions, they ask the same questions over and over and over. It's kind of like even in all sports, it's like the reporters they ask the athletes the same question over and over. It's like you already know what I'm gonna say. Just go back to last week.
So I'm grateful for that because that's the majority of the time it's the most important pace. Um,
Let's go back.
pace for that because that's the why. Iconic. So why? But I'm grateful for that because that's the majority of the time it's the most important pace. Um, but of course we don't know why we came this weekend and we had a bigger gap on a single lap. It is a longer track, but we definitely weren't expecting that. We expected to be a little bit more competitive. So even in the race, it was great that I was just about able to keep him behind at bay. And again, what a great job George did to get by it.
Because we saw how
Ultimate team player. He's big up. He's big up in his teammate. George is doing a good job. One thing that I hate to see is all this comparison between Lewis Hamilton and Russell. I saw this dumb comment on Facebook where this guy was talking about how Lewis Hamilton can't be the great. Um, he lost to Jensen Button. He lost to Rosberg, and now he's about to lose to Russell. I would like to just make this point, and that'll be it from me today. You're gonna lose. That's just point blank. You're gonna lose, especially when you've done as many races as Lewis Hamilton has done. Yeah, he lost to Jensen Button, but how long was Jensen Button his teammate? Yeah, he lost to Rosberg, but if you really look at the time that they had together, Lewis Hamilton won more championships versus him. Rosberg just won that one, but Lewis Hamilton was still more positive. And what I mean by that is the win to lose ratio. Rosberg only won one. Lewis Hamilton, I think he won like three or two. So he still had more. So what that mean? And then the season's not over yet. So I don't understand why they say that Russell's gonna beat him. It's like even if he does, like one thing I would like people to realize is that just because you're on a team, that does not mean that your cars are the same. Like there's this false narrative that just because you're on a team, all cars are the same. You know that your mechanics are the same. Like no, you have two different cars and you have two different mechanic crews. Each mechanic crew has their own expertise and their own strengths. That's as simple as that. Setups are not the same because George doesn't drive the same that Lewis Hamilton drives. George might like a car that, with a rear end that dances a lot. Lewis might like a more stable car like Sebastian Vettel. Who knows? But for people to assume that both the cars are the same, that's false. For instance, Ross Braun talked about that with Rubens Barrichello and Michael Schumacher. Michael Schumacher and Rubens Barrichello had two different cars. Two different cars and two different mechanics. And he talked about it being a healthy competition within the team. So I think that's one thing that we have to realize when it comes to Formula One. The cars aren't the same. They're the same in theory, right? But they're not the same. So we have to get that out the way. So for people to be constantly saying that Russell is a better driver than Hamilton because he's beating him this year, like I think that's I'll take it this far. I think it's extremely disrespectful to somebody's lineage and what they've done over the years. This guy has broken down plenty of barriers and has won a lot of championships. So how about we let Russell win a couple of championships before we start comparing him to Hamilton off of 1 year? Because it wasn't just a car. And if it was just a car, it was just a car for Alan Prost. If it was just a car, it was just a car for Michael Schumacher. And the same would go for Senna, Sebastian Vettel, when he was with Red Bull, it would go for anybody. You can't say that because the truth of the matter is, show me a driver that hasn't had a good car and won a championship. You can't.